Hey everyone, welcome to the shop. So you're probably wondering what I'm making today. Well, I've had this project going for a little bit of time here. I machined some of these plates at work a while back already, and I just haven't had time to get back to it. So what I'm trying to make here is a box wedge for my log splitter. Right now, the way my log splitter is designed, it's designed with the wedge attached to the cylinder and the plate on the end of the splitter. So every time you split, you got to handle the logs, okay? You have to, grab the log and set it aside, then split the other half, and it's a constant chore. It works fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the splitter, but it's a constant chore. You're constantly handling the wood, okay? So my idea, after watching a lot of videos on TV, and the ones that I thought would work the best for me, would be a box wedge. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to separate the plate off of the end of the splitter and put the plate on the cylinder. Okay, and then take the wedge and mount the wedge over on the end of the cylinder. So when you push a log through it, the pieces go out and they fall right off into a bucket or a wheelbarrow, whatever, and you're not constantly handling the wood, okay? So this is the first step of it. Actually, the first step was machining the plates, okay? So I did these at work. You've seen some of my other videos. I use the CNC machine at work to do this, and I come in earlier, stay late, and then I run a few programs. So what I'm going to be doing today here is the wedges come to a point, okay? So that point, in order for me to machine that point on the machine, I would have to use a really small cutter, okay? And that takes a lot of time. So I ran a program to at least get the shape in here, and then I'm going to take my Sawzall and I'm going to sharpen out this front corner here. And that's then the wedge will fit right in there real nice. It'll be a nice tight pocket, and that should work. And then we're gonna weld it up. So my first step here is going to be to get these wedges in here so that I can weld them. All right. So I'm gonna go put this in a vise over here, and we're gonna take the Sawzall to it and try and sharpen out those corners. So I have a hole drilled in here that I'm trying to meet up with. So I'm just going to take that Sawzall blade and I'm just going to come down the edge here and see if I can't meet up with that So the Sawzall is probably not the best choice, but that's about the only thing I have to get through that slot there. So now if we do that, yeah, it looks like I just gotta, it's almost goes in. So you just gotta grind on there a little bit yet. The problem with me being a machinist is I make everything too tight, and this probably didn't need to be this tight, but all right, we're gonna see if we can get the grinder in there. It's all going to get covered with weld, so it really didn't have to be that tight, and it's just my thing. Yeah, there it goes in now. I'll be able to hammer that in. All right, so I only got 6 more to do, 5 more to do, and we'll get that done, and we'll get back to welding. So I ground those corners out, okay. And I just tacked these pieces in from the bottom on the bottom plate. So this is the bottom plate. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's got six holes in there. That's how it's going to bolt to the I-beam. Okay, I'm not going to weld. I'll bolt it on first, and then if it works, if I have no issues with it, then I will probably weld it solid. But for right now, it's going to get bolted on until I'm sure this works. So how this works is your log's going to be sitting here and it's going to be pushed in. So the first piece that's going to hit is going to be this top plate, is going to cut the log in half or split the log in half. So half the log goes on top of the plate, the other half is going to go through the plate. Okay, so then the second point it's going to hit is the center piece here, right? So when it hits that, then it'll split and it'll come at a little bit of an angle and hit these other two, and then the third one, and then if there's anything out here, it's just going to be kindling or whatever. So so hopefully this all works. So if I did everything right, I got these blocks of wood set up here. If I did everything right, this should just set right on top there. Just like that. I think my outside corners here are hanging me up, so I'm gonna have to grind on them a little bit. It took a little bit to get that together. The stuff just wasn't lining up, and it started peeling a burr, and you know how it goes. I made everything too tight, right? So anyhow, we got it together. It's a little beat up here on top. I'll grind that off after I weld it, but. So you get the idea, okay? It's going to split me a bunch of 4x4 pieces of wood, and then they'll just fall into a bucket or a wheelbarrow, whatever I set there, and hopefully you can just keep splitting wood then, and you don't have to handle the wood so much. So let's get this tacked up here quick, and we'll flip it over and see what it looks like, get it all welded up. All right, there we go. They're all tacked together. Take my wedges out of here. that is it. Looks good. So we're gonna finish welding this up, weld it solid, and we'll get back to you after that. So I got this all welded up. All right, we're gonna take this. I gotta take this and do the bottom side yet and weld that, but I don't need that on camera. So what I'm thinking of doing here is this front edge seems to be damaging real easy, getting dinged up. So I'm thinking about looking for some hard facing rod, and maybe I'll weld that up 1/4 inch or so, you know, on the front there, just to get that good and hard. And I think that's going to be it. What I want to tell you is that this video right here now is being made in the middle of winter. It's the middle of winter here in Wisconsin, and I will not get to the rest of this, to putting it, assembling it on the log splitter, until spring or summer of next year. So that's why my videos seem a little bit segmented once in a while, because I'm trying to get as much done as possible during winter here, down in the basement, whatever I can carry up the steps and that type of stuff. And then in spring, then I do the rest outside or up north, you know, at the cabin. So right now, up at the cabin, they've already had over 2 feet of snow. We had about close to a foot on December 5th, and then the following week they had another foot, and then this past week they had another 4 inches. But in between there, they had a big rainstorm up there and melted most of that 2 feet of snow. There's piles and stuff, but the flat areas are pretty much melted, and now they just got another 3 to 4 inches of snow. So we're well into winter here. So the next time you'll see the rest of this video, you'll see the rest of this video in spring, probably. I'll be working on the log splitter then. And but anyhow, you know, I gotta finish welding up the bottom here yet, and I think that's gonna be about it for this part of this video. So we'll see you in spring. I guess we're changing directions. Oh, you guys are over there. I guess I'm the one that needs to change directions. So my original plan was to take this wedge I made and mount it to my original splitter at home. The one I have, actually it's up north in the garage. But I was going to remove the wedge that was on there, put this wedge on, and use that splitter. So I was over at Carl's house from work, and I was looking at a snowplow to adapt to the new tractor. And we got to talking, and the next thing you know, I was buying a cylinder and this I-beam from them. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set this up so that this will go right on the forks of the tractor. And then I have some hydraulic hoses. So then these hoses will go in here and go up and hook into the tractor itself, and use the hydraulics on the tractor to run this as a splitter. And then I can leave my other splitter just the way it is for the bigger chunks, the chunks that are all gnarly and whatever, because this is going to be more for the nice straight in the middle of the branch pieces that you're going to push through here and just, you know, just keep it going. So my plan is to have the wife on the tractor, driving the tractor and running the tractor, and then I'll be loading the logs, and we'll just whip through a cord of wood in no time, you know. So I got this all just tacked on. I welded this plate is welded on here already. This plate is welded on, and I just have this bolted on here. But the rest of this is all just tacked in place, because I wanted to make sure the stroke was right, and I don't want it coming up and smashing into this here. So I got it so it stops right there. So put a little air on it here. You can see how it works. So it goes right up. It'll push the log right through. Then the other half of the log will sit on top here, and when it goes back, it'll pull it back and drop it back into the opening here. And that's the plan. Just keep it going. So while I'm grabbing another log, hopefully she should be able to split, keep splitting. So, there you have it. That's how it works. Okay? So I gotta finish welding this up. Like I said, this is all just tacked on here. And I'm probably gonna add a strap on here to make this stronger, because this is just, it's just kind of hanging on the back of that I-beam. This here I have welded pretty solid. And the last thing I'm gonna do then is I got some blocks cut here. So I'm gonna weld a block on here somewhere on this plate, so that when this comes forward, it's actually gonna push that log a little bit past, you know, so it'll continue to split it and push it all the way through there. So that's about it. I'm gonna get this all finished up, get this all welded together. I got some pieces of channel coming. A guy at work is gonna order me a couple pieces of channel, so that I can weld them on the bottom here, just like I did on that hitch I made. And I'm gonna get the right size this time, 2x5, so it fits my forks. So then I'll just weld those on here, and then we'll just drive in with the tractor, pick it up, go over to our pile or whatever, a basket, whatever we're gonna be using, and just start splitting, okay? So, let me finish this up, and I will show you the finished product once it's all done. Okay, well there it is, guys. All finished up. Got some red paint on it. Oh, hang on a second. I gotta put the guard on. This thing flips up. Set your log in there, and then goes like that there. Top half of the log sits on top of here, okay? And then when it cycles back, pulls the log back and drops the log back in here. So, that's gonna be it for now. I don't have the tractor yet, so it'll probably be this summer sometime before I get to try this thing out. But I think it should work pretty good. So other than that, I want to congratulate Randy Henke. He won the hat on the last video, on the snow removal video, and the answer to the question was Jonathan Taylor. So for those of you that couldn't figure it out, that's who the commercial was with Jonathan Taylor. He said something like, and if you're from Detroit or Minnesota. And that was the answer to the question, was Jonathan Taylor. And Randy Henke, he has a place up there by Wasaki. He got it right, so he's gonna get one of those hats. And congratulations, Randy. So, a lot of things going on here. You're probably gonna see me for a while. We put the house up for sale. We're gonna be selling the house here in West Bend, and we're gonna be moving up to the North Woods shortly. I have my retirement date set for July. So hopefully everything goes through, and we'll be moving up there in a little bit. Won't be long. All right. So until next time, see you later.